American society is a free society in every sense of the word. You can do anything as long as it's not illegal. Or if you can circumvent the law, you can do it. Although the law is very perfect, the important thing is what people in the legal environment are thinking. From national security issues to external threats, America is facing many risks that will lead America to collapse. Collapse from within America. The risk of drugs, the risk of immigrants, the risk of communization. In March this year, while examining dark pipes, law enforcement officials in the city of Reedley, Central California, accidentally seized a Wuhan pneumonia virus, COVID-19, laboratory device hidden in an abandoned warehouse, used to produce Wuhan pneumonia reagents and other reagents. In addition to tissue samples, serum, and other bodily fluids, there were also large quantities of unlabeled bottles of liquid and thousands of laboratory mice, all infected. However, due to its proximity to a key U.S. naval base, the incident attracted the attention of Congress. After an FBI investigation, the current warehouse tenant is Prestige Biotech, a Chinese company registered in the state of Nevada, but does not have a business license in California. Since October 2022, Mr. Wang Xiaolin of this company and other experimental scholars have been illegally operating a secret laboratory here. They are all from mainland China and are believed to have fled the United States. Mr. Shouqin Yao, president of Prestige Biotech, said that this warehouse came from Universal MedTech, UMI, a medical equipment manufacturer that owed them money and had gone bankrupt. However, court documents say, neither Prestige Biotech nor UMI could provide a license to operate or test in California. Investigators also could not verify the addresses in China declared by these companies. Shocking the U.S. Congress. Last week, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who represents California's 20th District, emphasized that the incident was very disturbing because of its location near Fresno County, where Naval Base Lemoore is located. There may be a larger conspiracy behind this. He asked the Congressional Special Committee on U.S.-China Strategy to pay more attention and monitor the FBI's progress. The California Globe also asked in its report about this, why did a Chinese company illegally produce COVID testing reagents here? Where are these reagents used? Are they a medical group or a hospital? Does this laboratory exist independently? Who authorized it? What do analysts say? Dr. Lin Xiaoxiu, former head of the Department of Virology at the U.S. Army Research Institute, analyzed the case. He believes the assessments from the investigation published by the Fresno Department of Public Health are even more shocking. This includes hundreds of genetically modified mice, as well as a source of viral infection. Normally, if these reagents are produced or experimented on white mice, they should be done in a more methodical laboratory, and must meet a certain level of biological safety. When they were discovered in a primitive warehouse, violating basic regulations on laboratory management, the incident itself posed a serious threat to public health safety. Second, the company Prestige Biotech also took over some biological samples left over from the bankrupt UMI, which also seriously lacked public ethics. The haphazard pileup of illegal biological materials, along with the hundreds of genetically modified rats left unattended, will pose a huge danger to the local population. Why do these two companies trade so haphazardly? What is the purpose of UMI in storing large quantities of laboratory mice and biological reagent samples? Why do they do it in animal laboratories? Even if it wants to use these materials to produce reagents for rapid detection of COVID-19 antigens, UMI does test that they meet research and development specifications after transferring them to Prestige Biotech or not? Or is it like China's waste-based cooking oil production sites, arbitrarily labeling, selling fake and low-quality products, pretending to be real products, and then releasing them to the market without regard to consumer health? Just looking at Prestige Biotech's handling, we can know that this company does not have enough research and development capacity. The person believed to be the owner of the company, registered representative, Mr. Barry Zhang, is in the state of Nevada. He is a local overseas Chinese leader, and may also be a member of the United Front of the Chinese Communist Party. Just like in mainland China, many companies produce a bag of mixed reagents, aiming to gain government resources. As long as orders are received, they will be released to the market regardless of whether the test results are accurate or not. So this in itself is a big problem and very unethical. Regarding the production of biochemical weapons, Mr. Lin Xiaoxiu believes that such a hypothesis may exist. Because before that, a Chinese company suddenly rushed to Florida, saying that they would buy land to build a large animal laboratory. So what is their purpose? However, the CCP's Wuhan virus laboratory is negotiating cooperation with the Pakistani army to establish a biochemical laboratory. This is indeed very worrying. Mr. Lin Xiaoxiu believes that for a long time, the United States did not pay enough attention to the CCP's biochemical warfare ambitions, and underestimated the level of evil of this party. For example, U.S. government research organizations have funded efforts to help many countries, including China, establish pathogen surveillance systems. This approach seems ideal. But to a certain extent, this is equivalent to spreading advanced technology to the world, and allowing terrorists to find more channels to obtain that technology. So this is very dangerous. In fact, according to China's dual-use policy, many university laboratories and laboratories of the Chinese Academy of Sciences may be collaborating with the military. Mr. Lin Xiaoxiu suggested that the United States needs to strictly control cooperation with the CCP in the field of biological agent research. Of course, some members of Congress are now proposing bills, hoping that universities, government agencies, non-profits of the United States will not provide funding to China in any areas of functional augmentation research or dangerous brain-computer interface research. Regulatory policies in these areas need to continue to be strengthened. The progress of the investigation process has opened up risks that cannot be ignored. Local authorities said that during the process of cleaning up the remains under orders from the US CDC, pathogens labeled HIV and Ebola were discovered, warning that the issue concerns US national security and criticized federal agencies for irresponsible work. Republican Congresswoman from Iowa, Ms. Ashley Hinson, said on Fox on Sunday, "If you present it all in detail, it will all be like a horror movie." According to information, the person behind this laboratory is Zhu Jiabei, 62 years old, a Chinese citizen and a wanted criminal in Canada. "We want to know how he got these pathogens, how he could avoid the responsibility of running a laboratory, receive millions of dollars from the Chinese Communist Party, and then seemingly into the United States to steal intellectual property?" asked Congressman Hinson. Last week, the U.S. House of Representatives Special Committee on the People's Republic of China announced that Zhu Jiabei was suspected of having ties to the Chinese government. Authorities also reported that Zhu stole millions of dollars worth of intellectual property, also as part of an ongoing transnational crime ring linked from China. Zhu was arrested in October. Ms. Hinson and many others worry about national security, not ruling out that many similar cases may be hiding across the United States. Not only did the FBI and CDC fail to investigate this illegal lab, we are now wondering how many more such labs there are in this country, she said. "Obviously we, America, need to do some work to make sure, because we know the Chinese Communist Party is doing everything they can to continually weaken America." The U.S. House of Representatives Special Committee on the People's Republic of China also said local law enforcement contacted the FBI and CDC, but these agencies refused to investigate. Officials then contacted Democratic Congressman Jim Acosta, who urged the CDC to get involved, prompting the agency to launch an investigation that reportedly found at least 20 potentially transmissible pathogens, but ultimately issued a report saying no evidence of selective or toxic agents was found. Some local officials and congressmen criticized the investigation's working attitude. The CDC and other agencies hung up on them and ignored them until Democratic Congressman Jim Costa called them, but when the CDC showed up, they were ineffective, said Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy. "They do not test for pathogens. They didn't even find all the pathogens. They left a refrigerator with Ebola in it. We know how dangerous that thing is." The US CDC responded to the Biological Laboratory Investigation report of the Special Committee on China, saying that CDC rejects the report's critical conclusions. CDC has been and will continue to actively participate in joint regulatory agencies in intergovernmental efforts to address issues related to this facility. At the same time, Republicans are also more critical in the context that last week President Biden welcomed Chinese President Xi Jinping to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) summit. Congressman Hinson said, "This is truly a slap in the face to the American people." The Newsom of San Francisco administration and the federal Biden administration rolled out the red carpet for President Xi, a genocidal dictator who came to this city, but organized a parade to welcome him like a brother hero, welcomed him as a guest, honored him at a drunken dinner party. Meanwhile, we are destroying an illegal biology laboratory in Reedley, California. They have over 1,000 mice engineered to spread COVID-19. So this administration, President Biden, needs to hold China responsible for spreading COVID-19 around the world. Their purpose is very clear: to cause more damage to our country.
Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from Understand China, and thank you for tuning in.